Hello everyone, welcome. I'm Umbras, and today we are we are back in Gran Turismo 3. Having some slight technical issues, but things are for the most part pretty good. Basically just got to run the game in software mode for the time being. But otherwise we're doing great. We're gonna be completing the Tuscan challenge as well as the Super Speedway 150 miles. Welcome everybody that's coming in. Thank you all so much for watching. I do appreciate it. Anyway, let's dive in. For some reason, the hotkey for hardware mode decided it does not want to work, and I don't know why, so I'm running it in software mode for the time being, because I know I'm going to need to probably eventually switch it to software mode at some point, so until then, we're going to be running it entirely in software mode, and I'm going to try to figure that out and get that diagnosed after the stream. Because that is very strange. Okay, a little bit of understeer. Right, gotta remember that. Understeer is crazy. Understeer is very bad in the early stages of this. But we should be okay, I think. Little bit spicy, but nothing major. Anyway, we're driving the Tuscan Speed 6, powered by the Speed 6 engine. The all-aluminum inline 6 4-liter engine, created bespoke by TBR. It is a very lightweight, very potent engine, producing a lot of power. And also, despite it being British, it still was okay-ish. It had a little bit of teething issues in its earlier iterations, but later on they managed to get a lot of that fixed up. ECU updates and everything, as well as updated oil systems that help prevent the vehicle from dealing with some of the issues it had earlier on in its development cycle. Very nice, very smooth. I gotta remember, tires are still very cold. Tires are still very cold, so we gotta be careful with that. But yeah, after this stream I might do a hard reboot of my computer just to see if that's causing the issue, because for some reason the hotkeys aren't quite working. So we're in software mode for this stream, which is totally fine. I'm okay with that for the most part. It's a slight graphical fidelity decrease, but it's nothing major. But the car still looks good. Everything still looks, really nice and smooth. I got no issues with that. Anyway, we got 3 races here in the Tuscan race, and then we got the Super Speedway 150 miles. Well, hopefully that gives us an open wheel car. we are begging, we are pleading for something, anything to give us the open wheel vehicle, because we're running out of endurance races. Only 4 left, but then tonight 3, and that is a concern. That is a major concern. So we will have to be a little bit careful with that. Not super careful, but careful enough that, like, we're not gonna exactly, we can't exactly, take it for granted. Worst case scenario, I know I can adjust the 787B to be competitive with the open wheelers. But that is going to be a lot more difficult, I think. It is feasible. It is genuinely feasible to do that, and beat the open wheelers with the 787B. But you're still gonna need a little bit of fine tuning, I think. Okay, tires are up to temperature for the most part. Still a little bit down on grip, just because I'm running the racing slicks, the super hard racing slicks. So these basically are the full 10-lap race that needing to be changed. But it is a little bit tricky to try with them. You do need to take into consideration the sheer power of the vehicle once we have it all upgraded, and just how quickly it can go away on you. But yeah, this is nice. Heading to the halfway point of the race. 2 more laps to the halfway point. Well, 1.5 laps to the halfway point. And then we have this. Then the test course race, and it was race number 4, and then I forget what race number 5 is. But test course is going to be interesting. 10 laps are on there. It's going to be longer laps. We get to really see this vehicle's top speed. I might adjust it to a little bit higher top speed just to, you know, make use of that and try to minimize the time on that track. But yeah, we're gonna have a lot of high speed shenaniganry today. Because if we still have time after the Super Speedway 150 miles race, I might do the like the win race, get the Dodge Viper, get that fully upgraded and do that just to have one more race knocked out. Plus, it's always fun seeing just how fast you can make the Viper. That is for real. But yeah, we should be fine, I think. We may end up. I'm not sure. We may end up lapping the field on this one, with it being a power track. We may genuinely end up lapping them. I'll have to see how far behind they are. If they are 40 seconds, oh yeah, they are over 40 seconds behind. Midnight, welcome. Hope you've been well. Welcome to the stream. I saw the message you posted in Discord. Congrats to 49ers for another win. GG. Nice. Now, is the season like officially started? Is this still preseason? I think the season started, right? It's September, so it's like the actual kind of, you know, beginning of the football season. I think, right? Okay, a little bit of understeer. Still a little bit of understeer. This has been started for 3 weeks now. I don't football. But okay, so it's been started for a while now. So nice. So they've been so that is now quite a few games now that they've gone undefeated in. Very nice. Any other teams that are undefeated right now, or is it just the 49ers at this moment? Be a little bit careful here. Okay, so there's 3 games, 3 weeks, got it. So there's probably a decent chance that there are other teams that are undefeated. Could the 49ers mimic the Dolphins? Can they do it? Can they do it? 49ers, Eagles, Buccaneers, Chargers, Colts, and the Bills. Okay. So a decent amount of teams have gone undefeated. Has there been any teams that have gone 0-3? Probably. Dolphins are 0-3. No. No. Oh no. That's painful. That is painful. I mean, it's par for the course, but that is painful. That is. Oh. Damn it, Miami. Damn it, Miami. Oh gosh, I can't wait to see what parody they do of the Dolphins in GTA 6. There's gotta be like a parody of them in in that game. I'm looking forward to that. That'd be kind of cool to see, especially if like they do end up going like the winless this year. I'm sure they'll add some sort of like news story or whatever, making fun of the in-game Dolphins for that. It's like they had kind of sports teams in GTA 5, but they were like kind of like background stuff, right? It'd be kind of cool to have like a little bit more, you know, in depth, like, you know, building out the world and everything. 0-3 teams are the Texans, the Dolphins, the Saints, the Jets, and the Titans. And then either the Chiefs or the Giants will join those 5. Oh, I guess Chiefs and Giants are playing against each other. So therefore, one of them is guaranteed to lose and join that alt for 3. Dang, pain, Pecco. Yeah, okay, we are actually on track to lap. They're playing right now. Okay. Nice. Welcome to all. Hope you're well. Right now, we are doing the Tuscan challenge. Very, very, very rapid British sports car here. It's a one-make race, but ours is a little bit more upgraded. I didn't realize just how fast or slow the field would be, so I may have gone a little bit overboard with the upgrades. Chiefs are leading 6-0 right now. Okay. They missed the field goal. Or did they try to go for a 2-point conversion and that failed? There we go. We have lapped the field. They made 2 field goals. Okay. So instead of getting, okay, got it. 3-3. Nice. Who was thinking they just scored a touchdown and then no field goal or whatever. All right, almost to the end. Break just before the course widens there. Yeah, a little bit space in the curb. Possibly say, but yeah, it looks good in black and yellow. If you're doing it with green, probably green or white. Just to add that contrast. If you go in dark green, if you go in kind of more of like a lime green, green and black would be a good one, or like a lime green and then like a darker green for contrast could be a good one too. I love the Giants one tonight. I want the Chiefs to start up for 3. Man, Taylor Swift ain't helping them this time. She's gonna have to do some skywriting in her private jets. A little bit of understeer. Okay, there we go. We're good. No, we're not. That is still understeer. Okay, so I'm gonna adjust the suspension a little bit. uh, at the start of the next race. And I also got to adjust the gear ratio anyway because we are getting, you know, we're going to be bouncing off the red limiter like crazy. It's fun to find that choose Black Magic when I New Orleans of all places. Oh wait, this is Seattle. That is Seattle. Okay. I mean, either way, I'm still gonna, you know, increase the gear ratio one more. Is the final race then test course? Final race might be test course. I love how we're racing a sports car that's not even street legal in the States. In Seattle, of all places. That is amazing. There you go, get it around the corner. Okay, so we have a little bit more on throttle oversteer because we did stiffen up the rear arb. We did stiffen that up a little bit. We got the front down a little bit as well, a little bit of positive rake, which is good. We will have to see just how well that does with the corners and everything. Seattle's a lot more technical than Rome, so we do need to be a little bit careful with the rear tire wear here. As we got a lot of slow speed corners that we're going to be, you know, getting some grip on, getting some heat into. Want to get the 363? Yeah. A lot of like the 6th gen era console games were kind of like the premium version on that. Just missed the fuel, bruh. That's not good. Ripperoni and cheese there, man. All right, a little bit of heat going into the rears. A little bit of heat going into the rears. All right, big push now. Let's see how quickly we can complete this. We got 2 more races left of this championship. Then I'm planning on probably using the Minez R34 Skyline with the racing hard tires to do the Super Speedway 100 miles. Sorry, Super Speedway 150 miles. As that'll probably be roughly on pace with the vehicles we'll be up against there. Ryan Blaney also went today. Nice. GG to him. I'm trying to remember where was NASCAR racing today, or this weekend. I didn't get a chance to kind of keep up with that. I've been I mainly watched the IMSA race as well as the Azerbaijan Grand Prix, New Hampshire Motor Speed. Okay, so way up north. Very nice. So you got the lobster then. You got the prize lobster. The lobster dinner. Be nice and smooth through the chicane. The chicane's still a little bit spicy on colder tires. Rears are getting into operating temperature, but the fronts are still not quite there yet. Like you can just barely get a glimpse of the Space Needle in the background, heading into turn 1 and 2. Just to let people know. Just to let people know that, well, yes, we are in Seattle. To be fair, that's how you can normally see the stuff. Especially once in how many Buccaneer. Oh, that'd be a cool one to do as well. Which Buccaneer would you do? Would you do the GTA 4 Buccaneer? Or would you do the GTA 5 Buccaneer? Wait, is that the same one? I think it's the same one. Wasn't there a different Buccaneer? There was a different Buccaneer in San Andreas. San Andreas was a different Buccaneer. Nice and smooth through here. Nice and smooth through here, through the stadium section. However, what is the however? A little bit spicy there on the exits. Little bit spicy on the exit there. Alright, tires up to temperature now. Bit of a shame I can't adjust toe. That's something you can adjust on like regular suspension. But I guess that's not that's something they wanted only on the fully customizable suspension here. A little bit silly, but oh well. Oh, alright. Ow. Little bit of pain there. But we're good, we're good. Oh wait, Buccaneer GTA 4 is superior career, but in GTA 5 it's a 6. Okay. Got it. So it is different in GTA 5 and 4. So yeah, you're gonna do the GTA 4 one then. Alright, nice. I still love the Buccaneer Custom, the lowrider variant. We have the roof removed. Holy moly, that is super nice. You get the classic hot rod flame zone, you get the red leather interior. Oh yeah, that is the good stuff. I'm really hoping we get some like crazy vehicle customization in 6. I'm looking forward to that. Like literally, that's probably what I'd be doing most of my time in that game, is just the different cars, especially in like one line. I'm gonna be flat broke, but I'm gonna have like a garage with all the coolest cars. To be fair, for the longest time, that's kind of how it was in GTA 5 as well. Is, alright, I got some money, let's spend it on car stuff. And then I realized, wait, if I spend the money on things that can make allow me to make money quicker, then I have more money for car stuff. And then I kind of turn into a bit of a grind, but also like you know, it got to the point where it's basically like, okay, you have a couple $100 million in the bank. You don't really need to grind for anything anymore. Nice and gentle with this. Alright, we're at the halfway point now. Yeah, so 15-minute races. And yeah, increasing the gear ratio for more, decreasing the gear ratio for more top speed. Yeah, that helped out. That helped out a lot. I feel like that the car is able to make better use of its power without needing to constantly like go through the gears and everything. This has been really good, really nice. Get a little bit of air time, a little bit more air time. Just out of curiosity, is there any racing game that features the Tuscan Speed 6 where you're able to actually remove the roof for the target top? Because believe it or not, this is a target top vehicle. You can remove the roof, you can, you know, have open air and everything. But like every game I've played that has this vehicle in it, it's been, you know, the roof on top. Even like Gran Turismo 7 and everything like that. Because like, you know, you go on track and everything. I guess maybe if Forza Horizon, like the Forza Horizon series has it, maybe that would allow you to remove the roof as like the vehicle customization, but I'm not sure. That'd be cool if you could. Because very, very rarely do you get a chance to really, you know, try this vehicle with the wind in your hair and everything like that. There we go. Down to the gears. This is so much fun though. That is one thing I do like about the later Need for Speed games. They added both the hardtop and the convertible variants of the vehicles. I know some people might say, oh, that's padding the, you know, the carless and everything. And a little bit, yes. But on the other hand, it is genuinely cool to have like the option to, you know, if you want to buy like the roadster version, or if you want to buy the coupe version of like your favorite, you know, exotic, what have you, you get your choice. Especially like with Need for Speed Heat, you know, you're in fictional Miami. Of course, you're gonna be driving all the best roadsters and everything. Bad in GTA 5, you have 2 Virgo, 1 Dundry, and 1 Albany. Yeah, that is a little bit unfortunate, the fact that they basically just replaced the name there with that. They tried to bridge the GTA San Andreas car lore with the GTA 5 car lore, and it just didn't work. It just didn't work. Which is a little bit unfortunate. But I'm hoping that they would, you know, kind of rectify a little bit of that in 6, maybe. As you know, it's been multiple console generations at this point. You can probably have a slightly different continuity, at least in terms of like the vehicles. Like the Albany Buccaneer has changed from, you know, in GTA 4 to GTA 5. You have probably a couple other vehicles that have changed between the two. I don't know. It'd be cool to, you know, see what they do with that. I'm just looking forward to like the map and everything as well. Like there is so many. I don't know. I'm just kind of hyped. We're down to under 300 days. I think it's down to what, 250 now. Something like that. So, not much longer. Like, it is less distance between now and the game releasing than it was between now and the first trailer. Which is crazy to think about, because I remember when that first trailer dropped. And how I was like, oh my gosh, so hype, Tom Petty, and everything. It's pretty crazy. I'm hoping it's a good game. I don't know. I've been burned a lot with like the marketing and trailers and everything for like other games in the past. So I'm cautiously optimistic. I'm really hoping that it's, you know, it'll be good. What do you guys think? You guys think it'll be good? Do you think, you know, Rockstar missed the mark? What are you hoping for like the gameplay and everything? Vehicle handling. Do you want it to be more like GTA 4, GTA 5, kind of somewhere in between? And I'm kind of leaning slightly towards GTA 4, but with like at least sports cars and like if they have them, open wheel cars, you know, not being nearly as squishy. Like, I do racing sims. Sports cars aren't nearly that softly sprung as they are in GTA 4. Like, they got the SUV and, like, some of, like, the older, like, land yachts from, like, the 60s and 70s, correct? But, like, the modern vehicles in that game, the section of, like, the Sentinel and, like, the Coquette, they don't really handle that good. Hoping the game isn't $100. True. Yeah, I don't want the game to be $100. For real, for real. That won't be fun. That won't be fun. I don't want that. Oh, okay. Gotta be careful on the brakes. Gotta be careful on the brakes. Oh, hi there. Hi there, buddy. Come on, blue flags, flashy, flashy. Blue flags, flashy, flashy. Alrighty, here we go. Nice and smooth. Nice and smooth through here. Back to the left. As we're finishing up our final lap of the night. Well, not for the night, but like of this track. And then we head on to the final race of the championship. Come on, we can do this, chat. Oh, alright. Easy, easy. Nice, pretty consistent lap time. Give us the money! Money, 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 money. Oh yeah. Alright, final race. Where are we racing? Where are we racing? This one is test course. Okay, so I'm going to adjust the gear ratios to be probably... Yeah. That'll probably put us right around 200, just over 200 miles an hour. Which for the speed of the vehicle and the power of the vehicle would be good. New Need for Speed? We will eventually be playing Need for Speed 2015. But the reason I named the stream Need for Speed, one is a play on, you know, Need for Speed as well as Top Gun. But also because we're going to be doing the Super Speedway 150 miles as well. So, you know, a lot of high speed racing. I wasn't that far off. 198, 199. Exactly 200. Never mind. I was spot on with the estimation. Doing some quick back of the head math of the gear ratios. Venture Virgo is using GT San Andreas. Yeah, it's a little bit strange. GTA's never really been the most consistent with their cars, I will say. Alright, so 200 miles. This is what, a 4-mile track? 40... So... 40 divided by 200... So, 0.2... It's about 12-ish minutes, I think. Maybe not. This might be a 5-mile track, in which case this will be a 50 divided by 25%. So 15-ish minute race. Maybe. We will see. The first lap's always going to be a little bit slower because we're doing the acceleration and everything there. But the second lap, we are already going at speed, at pace. So, never mind. This is a longer track. Let's see, 6. Okay, so 6.5 mile track. 6.5, so 65 divided by 200. Divided by 200, so. 0.325 times 60. So about 18, 19 minutes. Okay. That's fine. That is fine. We're vibing. We are vibing. Vibing in the Tuscan Speed 6. I probably could have adjusted the gear ratio to be a little bit longer. Well, this still does the job. This still does the job. I know for the Viper, you don't want to actually change the transmission. You want to only upgrade the engine and everything, and lighten it, and then put on the racing slicks. You don't want to actually adjust anything like on the gears. Other stuff on the drivetrain, yeah, sure, maybe. But yeah. You also gotta be careful because if you do need to actually pit, you gotta actually start hitting the brakes before you enter the pit because the car cannot slow itself down in time at the speed that it goes. You will quite literally be unable to slow down enough for your pit box, and you will go out the other side of the pit without making a stop, which is genuinely hilarious. Alrighty, come on. Honestly, for a little inline, for a 4-liter inline 6, this ain't that bad in terms of top speed. Yes, okay, 156 point, okay, yeah, so for about, yeah, 20-ish minutes, about 20 minutes. Ah, the joy of the the test course in professional league races. The joy of the test course in professional league. If there's one thing I'm gonna genuinely criticize Gran Turismo 3 on, is just the overuse of test course in professional league, because holy moly, this is painful. This is genuinely painful. But we're vibing. We're making good progress here, and then we'll be entering the Super Speedway 150 miles. Thankfully, that one you'll have acceleration, deceleration, strategy with the tires and everything, and probably some close battles because I know there's it's gonna have the roof CTR 2 in it likely, which is roughly on pace there with like the Minas R34 Skyline. So I think we'll have a good battle on our hands there. I've been running some numbers. I think they'll be roughly on pace. I'm hoping. I'm thinking they'll be about on pace. So we should be okay. Probably. It'll be 100 laps there. And there's at least a solid chance that we'll get an open wheel car. If we don't get an open wheel car, there is at least one other vehicle we can get there that'll be genuinely useful to us. And that is the Renault Clio Cup car. Either one of those two I will be fine with, because the Renault Clio Cup car will be useful in not only the mid-engine challenge, that could take it to the Ford GT40 with its downforce and everything, but it could also be used in the Clio Cup, where you're racing against other Renault Clio Cup cars instead of having to buy your own standard Renault Clio and upgrading it and everything like that. We can instead use the regular Clio Cup car if we win that. So either of those two, the V10 naturally aspirated open wheel car or the Clio Cup, are fine. I know one of the other prize cars is the Corvette C5R, which isn't really that useful to me, and I forget what the last one is. But the other two aren't that useful to me. It's basically the open wheeler and the Clio are the main two that I'll be happy to get, because both of them will give us a good path forward for, you know, doing more races and everything like that. Depending what races are in the Professional League Turbo race as well, we might be able to use the Minas Skyline for that, I think. If not, we'll have to find a different vehicle. That'll be roughly on pace there. I'm sure we've got something. I'm sure we've got something that'll, you know, be able to really take it to them, depending on the track and everything. So I'm not super worried there. Then that gives us, I forget what that gives us. But either way, that'll give us another vehicle. So we got some options going forward after the Tuscan Speed 6-1 make race and the Super Speedway 150 miles. And we'll probably also do the like the win tonight as well, just to get that knocked out. And also because I genuinely want to just get the crazy fast Viper. Because it is terrifying. And I love seeing just how fast I can make it. You know, full lowering, you know, the hardest racing slicks. You know, lighten it like crazy. All that fun stuff, you know. And that's what makes it, you know, so much fun. Is basically taking that massive V10 and just, you know, tweaking it to its absolute limits. And then going, you know what, alright, this is kind of fun. And just take it on, you know, this oval as well, just seeing how fast you can make it go. Because right now, like 200 miles an hour is nothing to sniff at. But like the Viper, if memory serves me correctly, that'll run like 250, 260. Which for early 2000s is genuinely terrifying. But yeah, right now we are we're just slowly making our way around the track. I say slowly, we're going at a very rapid pace. It's just there's so few corners that it kind of feels like we're just vibing. That probably should have increased the gear, decreased the gear ratio just a little bit further, maybe one more level. It's like right now we're kind of like occasionally reaching the top speed at the rev limit and everything. But like I'd like to see it where we're a little bit quicker and we're not bouncing out the rev limiter. Because I imagine like IRL, this can't be good for the engine, having it in the red zone, having it, you know, at 8,500 RPMs, you know, just constantly for, you know, 10, 20 minutes. That can't be good for the car. That genuinely can't be good for the car. But I don't care. We're vibing. We are vibing. See, we are going a little over 3 miles a minute at this speed, which is crazy. For those European peeps and everything, that is about 5 kilometers a minute. Thereabouts. So every 60 seconds, we are doing what takes, you know, runners to do, like, what takes runners, you know, 15, 16 minutes, you know, high school kind of college athletes, roughly speaking. That's crazy. That is crazy. Alright, 4 more laps. So that means 8 more minutes, basically. Whee! This is fun, though. Like, I much prefer the test course in Gran Turismo 3 and 4 than Special Stage Route 7. Special Stage Route 7 isn't really that fun. That course is genuinely, it's too long. It is genuinely too long. Where you're just like, okay, alright, that's a bit much. Yeah, that's a bit excessive. Plus, it's not even that good for like testing top speed either, because you have like the elevation changes. So on the downhill, your car goes faster. And in the uphill, your car goes a bit slower. Here, at least it's kind of, you know, it's flat. There's not much for the scenery. But you at least have, like, the flatness and everything. So, you know, you have that going for you. This is crazy, though. Like, I wanna see, like, right from the starts, just how quickly it takes to go 400 meters, like a quarter of a mile. Alright. Because you have the timer there at the 400 meter and the 1000 meter marker. So with that, we can quite literally see at our top speed just how quickly it takes us to go that quarter of a mile. Hey, how's it going? Welcome, Easy. We're doing pretty good. Right now we're in the final race of the Tuscan one make race. Alright, let's see, how long does it take to go quarter of a mile? 4.5 seconds. Put that into perspective. That's roughly the same time it takes top fueled funny cars to go from a standstill to like the other end of a quarter mile. That is crazy. Even with a running start, this vehicle would not be able to beat top fuel funny cars. That is terrifying. Just say the sheer G's. The people that in those funny cars have got to feel an acceleration. Being literally launched a quarter of a mile in like seconds flat. That's crazy. that is genuinely terrifying. That is super cool too. Alrighty. Give me some speed. Alright, it's half a lap, 56 seconds, there, about 57 seconds. So we might be going pretty quick here. I know after this race we need to wash and change the oil in our car. And then we will need to get ourselves ready for the Super Speedway 150 miles. That'll be a fun one. And hopefully with that we get a 50-50 shot of getting a vehicle that's useful to us from that race, which is why I want it to be the next one. Because either we get the open wheeler, or we get the Clio Cup car, which we can use then tomorrow in the Clio Cup Championship, as well as maybe like the mid-engine cup or whatever. The mid-engine challenge. Something like that. Probably. Alright, 157. We are nothing if but consistent. Alright, 11 seconds. 11 seconds to go a kilometer. That is crazy. So we are going, what, 6 kilometers a minute then? Or just under 6 kilometers a minute. That's crazy. That is genuinely crazy. Holy moly. Like that is the power of, you know, the power of combustion, the power of engines, power of our technology. Going speeds we never thought even feasible, you know, in terms of like, you know, our own physical capabilities. We're just sitting there, we got the air conditioning running, we're like, yeah, this is nice. Smooth, controlled, no issue whatsoever. Like the vehicle is, you know, steady and stable. Just planted. It's not even shaking. Like, you're getting a little bit of shaking, but like not like a lot. It is fun as well seeing the different lead changes, like seeing the different colored Tuscans on the time cards, how quickly they're changing position and everything. You get to see all the different colors they come in. All the different reflex and chameleon colors, the different pearlescent and color shift paints. Alright, yeah, tires are starting to wear just a little bit, so we're not quite going this quick. That is alright. One more lap for the final race of the championship. Yeah, 11.2 again per kilometer. It's not bad. That's not bad at all. That is not bad at all. Let's keep ourselves on the rubbered in part here. Might be a little bit more grip there. Anyway, at the very least, we know we're kind of on the banking, but we're not like overextending our vehicle in terms of like, you know, going longer distance or like that sweet spot where the banking will hold us. But the, you know, we're not going further out than we need to. There we go. One straight and one turn left. Half a lap to go. Come on, big push now. Big push. We're doing all right, I think. I will say, after the championship, I will quick close the emulator and restart it. I think I found the issue is because it was when I unplugged my keyboard when I was trying to diagnose the Need for Speed issues, and I think that caused a slight issue with the emulator. So I'm gonna close up the emulator after this race, after I save and get everything done with the vehicle, and then I'll reboot it, so you don't gotta worry too much about that. I'll make sure I save. Anyway, money. Give us. Nice. And then the next session, we get the championship bonus and potentially a prize card that'll be useful to us. Hopefully. Come on. I'm closing my eyes until we get it. I mean, yeah, the Griffith 500, it's a vehicle we don't have, but it's not exactly a vehicle I necessarily need. Like, we got, I'm not sure what that can even be used in at this stage. Oh well, it's a nice vehicle to have. Jaden, welcome. Hey, I was so excited about the PS when I get the graphics that busted. Ah, yeah, no, I'm sorry to hear that, man. If you want, you know, maybe, if you're looking to maybe find like a TV with components, inputs, that might be helpful. Otherwise, if you have a decent enough laptop, you could probably run a decent amount of those PS2 games off of emulator as well. I mean, you're able to run a Sotto Corsa Competizione. You're probably able to run the other stuff. You're probably able to run PS2 emulator if you can run a Sotto Corsa Competizione, right? Probably. Anyway, I'm gonna quick close out the emulator just for a split second, just so I can see if this is the issue. I'm gonna fully force close that. Don't worry, we're not ending the stream, I promise. I just want to make sure. Okay. Okay, there we go. We're good. We are good. All right. So yeah, that was the genuine issue. That was the genuine issue. The reason I have a TV is because. Oh, okay. That's pain. That is pain. That's not good, man. I'm not sure then. If you want, I could probably, sometime in the near future, DM me, I can show you how to do PS2 emulation if you want. Call my laptop thing and do Boeing 747 takeoff, MP3 running ACC. Fair. Okay, so maybe that might not work either. Shoot. I don't know then, that's tough. At the very least, You should be able to run PS1 games, so you can play like the old Gran Turismo 1 and 2. You got that going for you at least there. Because I know how to set up Duck Station too. Oh my gosh, it feels so much better in hardware mode. So much crisper. I will say the graphics you're seeing here are upscaled compared to like what would normally be like PS2 graphics, but it's not like that much upscale. It's only, I only have 2x upscaling, so it's only like double resolution of what it normally is. I mean, it can run. It'll be considered from a torture, but it can function. Okay, yeah. Ooh, okay. The Nismo Skyline and the CTR 2 would be tough, but I'm down for it. Let's do it. Whole bunch of tuner cars. Whole bunch of tuner cars here. Yeah, we got a bunch of four-wheel drive high-powered beasts. We may actually... Oh, the understeer is real. Well, let's see. The racing 6 may have been overkill. The racing 6 may have been a little bit overkill. But oh well. We got something that's close. We'll have to see if they're also on like the racing slick tires or whatever. Because that'll determine probably how accessible how accessible it'll be. But yeah, this thing is super cool. The Mina's Skyline. Very little change on the body, yeah. Just a slight upgrade on like the front canards and front splitter. But it was used in time attack events, and was especially famous for its various competitions on best motoring, where it outcompeted contemporary Porsche 911s, Ferrari 360s, and Lamborghini Diablos at the time. Kind of hit a wall in Mini Club LA. Camaro 1 just isn't competitive anymore. I can still buy Group 3 cars. Don't know what the purpose of that is. The big thing, have you been upgrading the Camaro? I'm not sure where exactly you are in the stage of the game. What were some of the more recent missions? It's been a while since I played the game, but I've got a vague knowledge of how like the kind of it progresses. The big thing is trying to get more rep. So make sure you do more of like the race and everything, so you can unlock more performance upgrades for the Camaro and get the money for that. Even if you kind of have to slum it up with the easy and medium races first, that's totally fine, because then you can, begin getting more upgrades. Yeah, okay. So yeah, the big thing now is to get more rep, so complete more races. Even if you're not necessarily winning all of them, do like different race series, or challenge kind of the green and the yellow racers around the city. Highway races are a decent way to get rep as well, but you can kind of soft lock yourself a little bit with that if you win too many highway races in a row. But you do that until you can upgrade, get more parts for the Camaro, and then you can begin tackling more of like the story missions and everything like that. Yeah, that area is a little bit tricky. Can be a little bit of a challenge. Get Alex Helly by Mark 1 Golf. That shouldn't be happening. That shouldn't be happening. Have you been using burnout on the launch? As well as like if anyone gets pie, you're using like slipstream turbo. One other thing I recommend is if you haven't already, EMP. EMP is a genuinely good. It is a genuinely good thing to have. EMP and Zone are probably two of the better abilities to have in Midnight Club LA. EMP is a great offensive ability, and Zone is a really, really good defensive ability. Zone kind of lets you slow down time enough to really kind of, you know, get a sense of where you're going and everything. And EMP, if anyone's starting to catch up to you, whatever, you can just use that and get them to, you know, off your back for a little while. It's got a surprisingly long range area of effect that EMP does. So you're not gonna be, you know, having too many issues there, I think. But yeah, getting out accelerated by Mark 1 Golf isn't exactly something that should be happening. Alright, yeah, my front right is starting to wear a little bit. I probably should have kept it on the stock tires. Probably should have done that, I think. But I mean, this is turning out decent enough, you know, a tuner car. You do the burnouts, launch this switchy turbo, it's too easy to launch stuff into it. Yeah, you gotta get used to kind of controlling the vehicle at Mach yes, though. That's the big thing. Because especially later on, the vehicles get very, very quick. You can't exactly treat it like a racing sim. It's a slightly more down to earth kind of than Midnight Club 3, where you're using the e-brake to stay at Mach Jesus the entire time. But you know, you do have a little bit of. You do gotta maintain momentum. It is still about maintaining as much momentum as possible through every corner. And that's where the zone comes in. So either EMP or zone are the way to go. EMP for offense, zone for defense. Both are probably the better of the four abilities. Aggro's really only good for the sport bikes. Just because they are agile enough that you don't really need zone. I don't know the bind for the special ability. Right now, zone equip. Figure that out. You can rebind the buttons in the options menu as well. You can rebind the buttons in the options menu. So, if you're struggling there, you know, you can rebind it to a button that's more you're more comfortable with. For me, I usually bind it to either of R3 or L3, pressing down on the joysticks. That's kind of the way I do it. I've made a mistake. I shouldn't have gotten the racing slicks, I think. I should not have gotten the racing slicks. But yeah, figure out how to bind that. Abuse the special abilities. Of all cars able to be upgraded faster than one cars. No, so different vehicles have different tiers. Alright? So you'll see when you're buying vehicles or when you're looking at vehicles in your garage, you have different tiers. They have classes, which is the rough performance category, and you have tiers, which is like the vehicle roughly when they unlock, right? And all vehicles of the same tier also unlock parts at the same rep level. So your 240SX that you started with, that'll unlock parts a lot sooner than the Camaro, but the Camaro will have a much higher, the Camaro will have a better performance overall once both are fully upgraded. So definitely recommend doing more of the race and everything, getting the rep to unlock the parts for the Camaro, rebinding the key or rebinding the control for the zone or the EMP, whichever one you prefer, as that'll help out immensely to carry momentum through the corners. You saw this 15? Okay. So yeah, so you got the Camaro then. So yeah, do more races than that. Even if you're not doing like the story missions, doing other races will still give you the rep and everything. So that's not an issue. And then once you get the rep and everything like that, you'll probably also have the money then to upgrade the Camaro. And that should take you a decent ways through the campaign. If memory serves me correctly, I ended up beating the muscle champion in the Camaro on the PS3 version. I think I ended up using the Camaro to beat the muscle car champion. Maybe the Focus is a B-class car. The big thing with that one though, I think the Focus is a tier above the Camaro, so you'll have even less parts for it currently available, I think. But we will see. If you won the Focus, then you're at least a little ways through the career mode. The Focus is, I believe, like the first third. Also, if you haven't already, do the time trials. C-class group 2. It might be C-class. Yeah, never mind then. So this is the same tier as the Camaro. I might be misremembering then. So yeah, same tier as the Camaro. Okay, fair enough. Either way, you know, make sure you get more rep, make sure you do more of that. And if you haven't been doing the time trials, do them. You do those 4 times. You beat the time 4 times, and you get the car you use in the time trial, which you can either sell for a quick cash, or you can then, you know, upgrade and everything. Just when you beat the time for the time trial, make sure you only beat it by like a second or two. Don't go as fast as you possibly can the first time, because the later times on the time trial are based on they are based on the time you initially set. So just a little heads up there. Don't do that per se. You know, take it a little bit easy on the first time trial. Like push for until you get to like the last checkpoint or whatever, and then like wait until you have like 4 seconds, 3 seconds up across the line. That way you're not like, you know, because that not only gives you more money, it gives you a decent amount of rep as well. And again, you complete 4 of those per like area, and you get a car as well, which, you know, is nice. You either get the money from selling the car, or you get the the car itself. But yeah, police changes are quite difficult. Even once you get the higher tier vehicles and everything, police chases can still very quickly ruin your day. But holy moly, this thing, the Mina's R34, absolute beast of a vehicle. It's got the stage 3 RB26 with ported head, larger valves, reinforced internals. and twin GT 2530 turbochargers. Very, very nice. Boosting around 600 horsepower on a very crazy amount of boost as well. About 1.2 to 1.5 bar boost. Titanium exhaust system. Adjustable dampeners and springs on all four corners. 6-piston calipers up front, 4-piston brake calipers at the rear. Yet it still looks semi-stock. Like, yeah, you got the Mine's logos and everything on it. But, like, you get rid of that. This looks like your kind of standard, like, lightly tuned R34. Like, this is genuinely, like, just rapid. Like, the interior isn't even all that upgraded either. It's mostly just, like, the suspension, some chassis upgrades, and, like, the engine especially. Koriori, welcome! Hope you've been well. Welcome to this stream. Right now, we are racing tuner cars. The you know, custom-built tuner cars on the Super Speedway 150 miles. And we're doing very well in the Mine Skyline. This thing is an absolute beast. Tests by Best Motoring showed that it had reached 0 to 60 in about 3 seconds in the early 2000s, which is crazy. That is, like, you know, supercar level performance. Genuinely very rapid. Alright, so yeah, it'll take us a little bit over an hour. A little bit over an hour to do this race. About 64 minutes, so I'm okay with that. I'm okay with that. So yeah, we'll do this and then we'll have enough time to then do the like the wind race afterwards. Because yeah, we got time. We got time. What car am I using? I'm using the Mine's R34 Skyline. This beast. It's got the upgraded RB26 engine, about 600 horsepower. It was using quite a few time attacks against other supercars of the era, you know, Porsche 911s, Ferrari 360s, all that stuff, as well as other tuner cars. And it was very, very rapid, very, very quick. I was able to comfortably beat quite a few premium sport and supercars of its day, and even nowadays, like, its performance is nothing to sniff at. There's no crazy wild body kits or, you know, excessive aero. There's no gutted race inspired interior. It is just pure suspension engineering and engine engineering as well to get power and lots of mechanical grip. The design was basically to make it as fast as possible, keeping it street legal and reliable for over 100,000 miles. And they seem to have done a good job with it. Like, the weight itself isn't that much different than the base R34 Skyline. It shaved a few pounds with its titanium exhaust system. Got a few more pounds added back with the reinforced internals. And then had a few more pounds shaved with lightweight carbon fiber and aluminum components. So it's overall, it's slightly lighter than the base R34 Skyline GTR. But this is a beast, an absolute beast of a machine, and I love it. Vehicle became a sleeper icon on Best Motoring, where drivers like Keiichi Tsuchiya and Manabu Oredo were able to just absolutely throw this car on the track. Tracks like Fuji Speedway, the older version before Tucker got his hands on it, Tsukuba and all that stuff. Very, very rapid. It's a beautiful machine as well. Like that bright white with the blue Mine's livery. It just screams tuner car. We got a lot of other cool vehicles, other cool tuner vehicles in this race as well. We got the Nismo R34 Skyline. We have the Spoon S2000. We've got the Mine's Lancer Evo 6, I think it is? 5? I think it's the Evo 5. We've got the Roof CTR2 and the Lotus Motorsport Elise. So, all kinds of high-performance, heavily tuned vehicles from around the world. Some Japan, some Europe. Very, very cool collection of vehicles here. All seeing who can go the fastest at Super Speedway. We are just over 30% done now. And once we get to lap 42, I believe, we will be pitting. So we'll be good for a little while. We got the staying power, we got the speed. And then in order to kind of keep the trend going of the focus on the high power, high speed, we're going to be doing the like the win race afterwards. Just for a little bit of extra fun. Hopefully we get some good vehicles as a prize car. Either the open wheeler or the Clio Cup. Either of those would be a good vehicle to have. Both of them would be very useful. There we go. A little bit more speed. You're using a little bit of the draft, a little bit of the slipstream. There we go. Good stuff. Good stuff. So one thing I do really like about Gran Turismo 4 over Gran Turismo 3 though is you get a little bit better understanding of roughly how quick or slow your opponents are going to be, what kind of performance they'll have. Gran Turismo 3 it's a lot harder to tell because sometimes they're modified, sometimes they're not. You don't really know until you're already like a good way through the race and you're like, ah, whoopsie daisies. Whoopsie daisies. This is super nice. Whoop. There we go, nice and smooth through the corners. This is really cool though. Just enjoying the vibes of the Minas. Alright, yeah, the front right side in a way a little bit. Gotta be a little bit careful with that. Alright, the CTR2 is pitting. It's gonna be probably gonna be lapping that again. Yeah, very consistent, very, very fast laps. Honestly, this is kind of between this and the Twin Rim Motegi Super Speedway though in Gran Turismo 4. I kind of actually prefer the fictionalized Super Speedway. It feels a lot more lively, despite the fact that they're both roughly around the same 1.5 mile fairly flat ovals, not that high banking. This one's just a lot cooler as you have the wind farm in the distance. You have the much more signage and everything. A lot more of like the buildings and media centers and all of that. A lot more grandstands as well, so you can really have all the people cheering you on. Like here, you are literally going through a corridor of screaming fans, and that is super awesome. Going past the press boxes, going past the suites and everything. It's very, very nice. But the interesting. With the Twin Ring Montegi Super Speedway, it's a little bit more on the bare side. You really only have the grandstands on one part, and then there isn't really a whole lot around because you're up a bit higher. You're at an elevated platform above the regular Twin Ring Montegi, so you get less. You're not really you know, seeing a whole lot of like the scenery or surroundings because you're a lot higher up, so you're kind of above everything. So it kind of feels like you're driving a little bit in a void. But unfortunate is that's kind of what the real one looks like, but still really cool though. Gosh, it's a shame that they never really fixed the oval parts of the track after the earthquake happened though, because it was always cool watching the Indy cars race there on the oval, and I'd love to see IndyCar maybe like make a return to Japan on one of the courses. I know probably not anytime in the future, just with travel costs and everything like that. But that would be super cool. That'd be super cool to see. If IndyCar is going to continue to be international, if we're not going to do that, I'd at least like to see them racing at like Hermanos Rodriguez or like Montreal, like maybe like a week or two before the F1 Grand Prix. That way it's already kind of mostly set up and everything. And you get the choice between, you know, the more premium F1 or the kind of more budget-oriented IndyCar, different fan base and everything. Some people might even do like a package deal or something. That'd be kind of cool. I just love to see IndyCar go to like more venues and everything. The calendars, well, they're starting to get a lot better. We got Phoenix back again for 2026, which I'm excited for. I always liked watching the race at Phoenix, especially once they moved it to the nighttime. Seeing the lights reflect off of the vehicles is always super cool. Especially because a lot of people had like the special, you know, almost fluorescent liveries and everything back then. That was super cool. So I'm excited to see IndyCar go back to Phoenix. There's gonna be a doubleheader with the NASCAR series as well. So hopefully that gets a lot more butts in seats and people watching it. It should. It should. There we go. Into the pits. And out of the pits. Let's go. Give me a little bit more speed. Some fresh rubber on. I like how exiting the pits doesn't heat up the tires at all. You're prevented from getting any tire wear in that corner, despite the fact that you're pulling fairly high G's. But as soon as you enter the next one, then your tires get temperature in them. And you can see they're already starting to change color a little bit. But yeah, this one, this Minae's R34, it was built in 1999 to 2000 was the build time period. Constructed at their headquarters near Yokosuka, Japan. And it was one of 3 that was in the demo lineage. Had the slight canter to the front as well. And from 2000 to 2002, it appeared in multiple episodes of Best Motoring. One was a hot hatch battle, well, a battle against basically like some of the fastest tuned hot hatches at Fuji Speedway. You also had the supercar challenge at Tsukuba where it really shone. There was also a drag race battle where it was competed against heavily modified R30, R34s, R33s, and Supras. Where it was inline 6 drag race battles. So during that time period, it was a superstar demo card, just being used to kind of showcase just how well Mines were able to really tune it up. And then once it kind of ended its demo tour, it was returned back to the Mines headquarters, where it did a photo shoot with Speed Hunters, at the time called Option 2, in 2005. And then sometime during the 2010s, after being shown at the Mines headquarters for a while, it was actually sold to a collector in Australia, a Melbourne-based GTR specialist known as V-Spec Performance. And to this day, it's used as a display vehicle, and even used in time attack races in Australia. So it's not one of those demo vehicles that gets completely scrapped after its time is done. It's, to my knowledge and to my research, it does actually still exist, which is really cool. It'd be cool to see this vehicle IRL. Just to hear it as well. The RB engine with the crazy amount of boost it's running, the crazy amount of power. Oh, that'd be so cool. Being able to sit in the passenger seat on this while it's going through a flying lap. That would be terrifying. I'd be excited to have that happen though. I'd have to go to Australia. Though, which is a little bit tricky. But I'm down for that. I am down for that. Alright, here we go. Nice and smooth through the corners. Get a little bit of the suck off the Lotus. Little bit of a suck. There we go. Almost the halfway point. Very nice. We'll probably be able to pit around lap 63, I think. Yeah, it's lap 63. Every 21 laps we're pitting. And then lap 84, and then we'll go to the finish. So 2 more pit stops, 3 more stints basically. We're making this work. Halfway through. So yeah, probably around like 65 total minutes for this race. Not bad, all things considered. Let's see if I can't go a little bit quicker. Shave a little bit of extra time off. Not close enough to get a suck off of the roof. And I have... Whoa, hey, watch the cut down. That is not the racing line there, buddy. That is not anywhere close to the race. That is not anywhere close to the racing line. Absolute melon. Absolute melon. Alright, here we go. Oop, alright, little bit of understeer there. We're all good. Let's try not to wear out the tires too much with the over pushing. Nice and smooth. Nice and smooth through here. Boop. Alright. Another little bit of time A little bit of extra time. Ooh, that was actually a little bit of a slower lap. Let's see if we can't get it back down to the 37.4s. The front rights. The front right is really getting the biggest wear out of all the tires. It's not normally how you want to drive Illinois. Normally you want to wear the right rear. That's the one you want to put the wear on, as that's the one you're putting most of the weight on. Normally, that's where you should be putting most of the weight on. So if you do wear that one more, you're at least putting more weight on it, which will prevent it from, you know, stepping out and everything. It also means that your car will gradually get just a little bit looser and looser as like your stint goes on, as opposed to tighter and tighter. So you can, you know, control that with throttle application. Alright, there we go. That's a little bit faster. I like that. The 37.2 may have come from slipstream. A little bit of extra speed. Alright, we're at 80 miles of 150. So 70 miles to go. So we're averaging slightly under 150 miles an hour for this race. It's not bad, all things considered. Alright, hi there, hi there. If you're gonna be coming down, I'm gonna go on the outside then. Oh, never mind, he's understeering now. That is the other thing, the AI are not exactly good at oval racing in this game. They don't really have like good lines. They don't really take use of the banking and everything, what little there is. And even in Gran Turismo 7, the AI, they freak out if you try to bump draft and to pull away from the pack. So you're just doing stuff. Alright, hopefully doing stuff's going well. Thanks for being here though, Adachi, I appreciate it. Like if you try to do the Chile race with the Group 3 cars in Gran Turismo 7, the best way to do it is to find one that doesn't freak out when you try to bump draft them. And push them to the finish line. I think I bump drafted the Mercedes that was in the field with the Ford GT spec, the Ford GT LM. That was how I did that, the Chile race there. Anyway, nice and smooth through here. Good. Down through the gears. Nice. Okay. That was a 38 last lap, so that's a little bit slower. There we go, 37. That's better. That is much better. See, we are going through that front right a little bit quicker than I was expecting, a little bit quicker than I was anticipating. But we are, for the most part, okay, I think. There we go. Ooh, very consistent laps. I will take that. Alright, lap 60, so 3 more laps after this, and then we will pit for the semi-final time. Honestly, this is going great. I was not expecting the Minas to really be able to put up that much of a fight. I was expecting the roof and the Nismo skyline to really, you know, be a little bit quicker. I think if I was on stock tires, it would have probably been a bit closer. You never know though, because like the Mazdas in the Roadster challenge, they do use, I think they use racing slicks. I think. Because they go for quite a while without pitting, whereas you can't do that. A little bit of honesty here. Yeah, okay. Probably, yeah, one more lap and then we'll pit. The weird thing is the pit entry is on the opposite side of the track to where the start-finish line is. So you're not exactly completing a lap. Although I will say, the car does magically get a lot of grip, but once you do get through once you do re-enter the pit entry and everything, it's like all of a sudden your tire condition no longer matters. Alright, the Nismo's pitting. Alright, I'll return to pit as well this lap. Get some fresh rubber on. Get some fresh rubber. Yeah, because you can hear that tire screaming. That's not good for speed. Boom. Alright, we have entered. There we go. Boop. And let's go. Alright, we got 2 more stints, 1 more pit stops. Thanks everyone that's watching as well, I appreciate it. We're making lots of left turns today. We can't go right, so we may as well go left. We are left-a-rooning. Alright, there's the Evo. Mine's family, Mine's brothers. Oh, I wish this game had a photo mode. That would have been a cool shot, the Mine's skyline next to the Mine's Evo. Holy moly, this thing is fast though. Give me a little bit more suck. Oh, I got right into the slipstream as we were entering the corner. Not exactly the best the best way to do that. Oh boy. Alright, there's the roof. We're gonna raise the roof as we pass it. Alright, so you're lap 84. And then we're on our final stint after that. So come on, big push now. We're gonna make this work. Very, very nice. Okay. Very good, very calm through here. No issues, no problems, no worries. We're just calmly, cautiously getting through this. Should be good. But yeah, it is cool that the skyline though. It does still exist. It's used for promotion and exhibition runs, including at the time attack at Phillip Island somewhat recently. It was noted as being there, which is really cool. Especially because a lot of times demo cars oftentimes kind of disappear a little bit after they have, you know, served their purpose. They get scrapped for parts, or they get taken apart for you know, testing or what have you, or they end up sitting mothballed in some factory somewhere, and you know, no one knows what happens. For example, people are still trying to track down the West Corvette that was featured in Tokyo Extreme Racer 3, and I've been part of a group that's been working on trying to find documentation on that, trying to find competition history and everything like that, and it is very difficult. We know that it competed in Time Attack Racing sometime during the 90s and early 2000s, that one, and it had its engine displacement increased somewhere in the middle stage of its life to, I believe, 6.5 liters, close to the end of its competition history. I did find some news articles on that one where it had some lessons to the results early on, as the drivers reported teething issues. With reliability and some suspension issues, really causing a little bit of a lack of time, a little bit of a lack of pace. It's a little bit unfortunate. I've been working with other enthusiasts and everything, trying to track down more of the history of that specific vehicle. We know it does exist, or at least something that is very similar to the one featured in Tokyo Extreme Racer 3 does exist. We know it had competed in time attack events throughout Japan, as well as even like autocross style or gymkhana style autocross events. Less the gymkhana of the Ken block style, more the gymkhana of, like, you know, a bunch of cones laid out in our parking lots, you know, more autocross style. So we know there is video out there of it doing that. We do know it had a couple of evolutions throughout its life as well, including a larger displacement engine for more power. But yeah, it is very tricky to pin down more information on it. There we go. Give me your suck. Nope, okay. And we're having like the worst timing with them giving us the suck. We don't want to be sucked in the corners. We only want the suck on the straights. We only want the suck on the straights. Yo, is that the Evo again? That is the Evo again. Nice. Very nice. A little bit more speed. No way! Alright, we got the same exact time back to back. That's actually really cool. I don't think I've ever seen it happen before. I don't think I've ever seen it happen before. That is super cool. Okay. I'll have to see if I can't do that again a third time. Can we do that a third time? I'm not sure. I'm not sure. Oh, so 3. Oh, it's not even all within a tenth of each other either. Just barely missed out on what would be a human stopwatch moment. We were close. 0.103 away from third one. That's not that far. That's not that big a difference. That is pretty consistent. Five, 6, 7. Yeah, that one's slower. We didn't have any suck there. And our tires are starting to fall off a little bit. Come on. On the bright side, this is probably one of the shorter of the endurance races. High speed and fairly low distance. After this, we got 3 longer ones. We got the Rome 2 hours. We got the Special Stage Route 11 all night. And of course, we got the Laguna Seca 200-mile one. Those 2 are going to be a little bit longer. Those ones are probably going to be around 2 hours or maybe a bit more with Laguna Seca one. So hopefully one of those 3 gives us, or even if this one, well, one of these 4 gives us an open wheeler. I've never had this long of a dry spell before. Coming up on lap 80. This is good. I might pit on like lap 82, 83, probably 82. Just so I can split the wear a little bit between the 2. But yeah, once this was bought by V-Spec. V-Specs collection. And we didn't really go into any formal events between around 2015 to 2015-ish, as it was mostly just kind of used as like a show car, a collector's item. After that, in both 2016 and 2017, it was at the Victoria and Time Attack at Phillip Island Grand Prix circuit, where it was in the exhibition class. It was displayed at the booth, and it did also complete a few time laps. Then in 2018 to 2020, it showed up at City Motorsport Park a little bit, where it was a static display. And I did a few demonstration laps there outside of competition. And then afterwards, kind of alternated between Phillip Island and City Motorsports Park, where it was again an exhibition run. So no like official time lapse, but it did get a chance to stretch its legs and everything, which is really cool. Unfortunately, no like super competition related history. Just because nowadays, one, it's the goal is to preserve it as a time capsule of a tuner, of a Miele's tuner car of that time period. They don't want to risk damaging it too much. In addition, a lot of the open class and even the street class cars, sorry, open and pro class cars are much, much faster now compared to what this vehicle would be able to run. They're much more stripped down, a lot more aggressive aero. So it wouldn't quite be as competitive with some of those vehicles in terms of lap time. Straight line acceleration, you could probably get a decent, you know, put up a good fight. But yeah. Alright, final pit stop of the night for this race. And then we will have 16 laps to go. Let's do this, chats. Let's do this. There we go, a nice drink of water. I like the water. I am a Hydra, homie. And we're off. Or partially. We're still waiting for the, Come on. Let's get out of the pits. And we are off. Very nice, very smooth acceleration there. Yeah, we're starting to lose a little bit of power with the oil starting to go a little bit bad. We'll be fine. We got 25 miles to go. We are averaging probably a little over 2 miles a minute. So I can't expect much more than 10 minutes left on this race. We got no more pit stops ahead of us. Just open track. And a lot of speed. I'm hoping we get a good car. I'm praying we get a good car. We desperately need a good car. There we go. There we go. Good speed out of there. Yeah, we're already putting some heat into our front right. So that's up to temperature now. Our front left and rear right are also starting to get some temperature in. The left rear, not nearly as much. That's lots. That's gonna take a little bit for it to heat up. That's all right. We'll be fine. There we go. Already at optimum temperature for the front right. Oh, the Evo's pitting. Oh, it is the Evo 6. Okay. Right, it wasn't until the 7 where it got a lot sleeker. Alrighty, come on. Oop, easy. Not much further, not much further. Come on, push, push, push. It just looks so good. Absolutely love this car, man. I might try using this for the turbo challenge. That might not be a bad one to use it for. I don't think this is eligible for the GTR race, despite the fact that it is literally based off of a Nissan Skyline GTR. I feel like it's not eligible. I don't think it's eligible. I'll have to double check, actually. I'll do that after this race. I'll see if it is eligible. Does that, depending on what we get, what we have available, what we win, may determine what events we do next tomorrow night. I know for a fact we can probably use this in the turbo challenge, given its overall, you know, very solid speed and acceleration. We should be even able to compete in the if there's, I think there's a test course race there. I think there's a test course race there. So we could probably do that. And I think the Turbo Challenge might give us something good. I'll have to double check. Maybe a GTR. If not, that's fine. If we don't have anything that can really compete in the race of the Red Emblem, we can. Well, we got something in our garage. We probably do use one of those, upgrade it a little bit, and use that to compete. Yeah, probably. We will see. We will see in just a few laps. That's for sure. What we've got, what options we have. There we go. Only 8.5 laps to go. So that is around, yeah, so we got about 15 miles left. Come on. Zero, welcome. Hello, Isaac. Hello, everyone. Doing well? Yeah, we're doing great. Right now, we're almost done the Super Speedway 150 miles, where we are desperately praying for either the Clio Cup car or the open wheeler as the prize car, because it is randomized. Only a few laps left. We're racing against other tuner cars here. We're in the Minas Skyline. And... alright, is that, yeah. Welcome, Sakura. Day's been pretty good. I did watch IMSA race today. That was super fun. The Battle of the Bricks. I got a chance to watch that. I watched the Azerbaijan Grand Prix as well. Big congrats to Carlos Sainz for getting the first full race podium for Williams in what, 8 years? Something like that? 7 to 8 years? Somewhere around that range. Like, that is crazy. Bro beat out the team that you know, dropped him for Lewis Hamilton in a Williams. That is how you assert your dominance. That is how you T-pose over the haters. To be fair, Williams really pulled a lot of their weight this race as well. Really good strategies, really good, you know, managing the chaos in the safety cars period. 9 years, okay. I thought it was 2017. I could have sworn it was 2017 was the last podium, but I might be wrong. Either way, it has been a very long time. Like, they have not had a full race podium since, like, before COVID. Which is crazy to think about as well. Like, we literally went through a global pandemic before Williams got their previous before Williams got the next podium. Bruh. That is crazy. That is genuinely crazy. Also, alright, unironically, the cats. The cats are one of my favorite part of the Grand Prix as well. The Azerbaijan grid cats. Please, can we have cats in all the other Formula 1 races as well? No, I believe that Russell had a podium place in this. Oh no, that was for Williams. But with that one, I'm talking like full length race. So none of the sprint races, none of the range shortened races, where you have like extenuating circumstances. I mean like full length Grand Prix, where it either went at the full, you know, 100, the full 300 kilometers, or the full, you know, 2 hours, whichever comes first. I think it's, I could have sworn the last one was like 2017, but I might be wrong. Oh, alright. The Lotus is keeping pace. Hopefully that Rover K series back there isn't overheating. Alright, 1.5 more laps to go. Come on, big push. Come on, let's do this. A little bit of understeer. Little bit of understeer. One more lap. Let's go. Let's do this, chat. Put your hands together. Half a lap left. Wait a second. We're not doing 150 miles. We're doing 147 miles. Brah! Williams' last podium was with Stroll. Stroll of all people in 2017. That is crazy. Okay, so my memory hasn't completely failed me yet. Holy moly, we have done it. We have done it. Heck yeah, hour and 5 minutes. Not bad. All right, please, 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 I am begging you. You know what? You know what? I'll take it. I will take it because we need that as well. We need that car as well. So you know what? I will take it. I will take it. Holy moly. Yes. It's in a nice color as well. That kind of like purplish pink maroon color. Very, very nice. Give me your energy. The downside is we only have 3 endurance races left to potentially get an open wheeler. Laguna Seca 200 miles, the Rome 2 hours, or the Special Stage Route 11. So we got options, but we're running out of options for getting an open wheeler. Just out of curiosity, can this compete in the race of the red emblem? It is allowed. Okay, it is allowed. So we will use the Minas Skyline for that. So, okay, tomorrow we're starting with the Clio Cup. Then we'll do the Skyline race, then Turbo. Probably. I think that'll be the way to do it. But anyway, let's go buy the Viper. Because we're gonna be doing the Like the Wind race for our final race of the night. Let's get it in the silver. I like it in the silver. Let's give it an oil change for a very cheap increase in power. And now the tuning shop, where we go crazy style and just absolutely put as much upgrades as we can on this, as we are basically going to be trying to see just how fast we can make this thing go. Alright, already over 500 horsepower. I'm doing these upgrades first before we do like the crazy thing. The engine balancing, 550. Alright, we're up to SRT 10 horsepower. 576, alright, we're up to Gen 4 Viper power. 1077 horsepower. Alright. Let's get the clutch as well. Let's get the flywheel, let's get the drive shaft. Anything that'll improve acceleration. Alright, no gear ratio changes. Yeah, no force induction. But we are gonna get the hardest compound tires so they don't die. And now we're gonna lighten it as much as possible as well. Let's go. Nice. I'm gonna quick save just to make sure we're all good. And then, like the wind, the last race of the night, 20 laps around test track. Because I am a sadist. And I mean, we were focusing entirely on high speed here. So, we may as well. We may as well. Let's do it. Let's do it. Yeah, I think we will stomp the competition. I wanna see how fast we go. Alright, we're redlining. We're kind of bouncing the rev limiter at what? Can we go past 6,000? Barely. We can go barely past 6,000. Holy moly. We are just climbing. Alright, we got McLaren F1 speed. Can we go Bugatti Veyron speed? I will say, at this speed and this lack of downforce, we are the rear is sliding. We got Bugatti Veyron speed. 270. 271, 272. Yeah, this is fast. I'm trying not to slide it too much because I don't want to lose too much speed on the corners. Legitimately, this is actually genuinely difficult trying to maximize the speed of this thing. Because we have no downforce. We have made the car as slippery as possible. Just look at this. This is going faster than what it can even go in Tokyo Shimizu Zero when it's fully upgraded. Because there the cars max out at 240. No, sorry, 250. The car is maxed out at 250 miles an hour. Which is crazy to think about. Alright, so yeah, 247, 245, probably around at the end of the corner. A little bit of a slide. I will say, even with the ultra hard tires, these are warming up surprisingly quickly. We've basically made a vehicle for this event, this one specific event, and absolutely nothing else. Flying GTR incoming. Yeah, thankfully not. But holy moly, I will say, second place isn't that far behind. Like, I think that's a GT1. I'm pretty sure that's a GT1. And yeah, that is just absolutely. Yeah, we will see. 9 seconds to go a kilometer. 9 seconds to go 1,000 meters. Holy moly. We are going like 4 miles a minute. We are going a very terrifying amount of speed. Like, we only have 4 minutes on our belts. And we are already at almost 16 miles. Yeah, we are literally at this stage, we are averaging 4 miles a minute. Oh, that was a very slow Zonda. I say slow, that Zonda's probably doing around like 200 miles an hour. It's just, we are going so much faster. We are going so much faster than them that it just doesn't register as them actually going any speed at all. This is terrifying. Oh, okay, all right. We're good, we're good, we're good. Didn't have a problem when they were trying to save the delivery in Tucson because I've been at 0% for 2 minutes already. That's a rare bug, but I have seen people on Reddit discussing that it happens. I personally never had it happen to me, but I have seen other people post that it does happen occasionally. It might be worth checking Reddit to see if there's anyone that has a fix for that. Or if you just gotta like close the game and re-attempt delivery. To be fair, I don't frequently do liveries. So I'm probably not the best one to ask for that. But yeah. I have seen it on Reddit where it is a known problem. Alright, come on. We are now in no man's land. Oh, my fingers starting to hurt from just holding down the gas for so long. Our right side tires are in the yellow. That's a little bit concerning. They do last a decent amount of time in the yellow. We're not really losing a whole lot of time either. So as long as the car is controllable, I'm probably going to stay out. If the rear end of the car starts getting a little too twitchy, I might then try to I might then try to pit. I gotta remember to actually brake for the pits. You actually need to slow down before you even get into the pits, because you will blow through the pits. This is crazy. This thing can comfortably do 245 miles an hour on stock gearing. Like that 6th gear was basically just an overdrive for highway cruising. Except now we have enough power to actually use it for, you know, top speed runs. Holy moly, though. Yeah, this is fast. Alright, I think we're coming up on the Zonda again. I think everyone has literally lapped the Zonda now. A crazy amount of power, but like no top speed because of the gearing. You need to really adjust the gearing to make use of it. I can't even be in the slipstream long enough to make use of that. That's how much faster I'm going than the Zonda. I do see another vehicle up here. I think that's the Toyota Supra GT 500 car. So I'm gonna try to get some slipstream off of it. The downforce it produces, we should get some... Ow. Should have ran out a little bit wider. I think that hurt me more than it helped me. Yeah, I think that hurt me more than it helped me. Nah, we don't have another lap car for a little while. Oh boy. Let's not go on for a little bit. This will probably be about a 30-minute race. But that's fine. That is okay. I'm happy with that. We can deal with this. I mean, the sheer speed of this car. This is probably the quickest way to do it without like using any like glitches or exploits, like the wheelie bug or whatever. And even then, you gotta be careful with the wheelie bug, because that one can legit, like, crash your game. if you wheelie too much. Your speed will go so quickly the game just can't handle it anymore, and you're like, oh, game freeze. All right, good stuff, good stuff. No problems here, no issues. Alrighty. Oh, there we are. What's that yellow one? Is that the Corvette C5R? I think that is. That one gets a decent top speed once you upgrade the engine as well, and it's very susceptible to upgrades. There we go. Get the suck, get the suck. Not the Corvette, that's the Speed 12. There we go. 272. We legit don't even know what like this thing's actual max speed is. We need to basically be bump drafting another fully upgraded Dodge Viper to get anywhere close to our like actual max speed. That'd be terrifying as well. It's just two Vipers nose to tail, you know, over 1,000 horsepower. Just going at it, going crazy. Yeah, that'd be awesome. Alright, we did get our fastest lap there because of the draft, 131.1. So that's not bad. That's not bad at all. Oh, okay, they're battling. No, they're not battling. They're being. We are lapping the Zonda again. There we go. How many times have we lapped the Zonda now? 3 times, I think. We are literally lapping the Zonda like every other lap. That is crazy. That is crazy. Alright, our tires are holding. Our tires are holding. We'll probably be able to go until like lap 12-ish before we got a pit. That'll probably be our only pit stop of this race. And then we'll be good to go. I wonder how much power the TS20 is making, because that's running very high speed as well. That's gotta have some engine upgrades too. Oh, the GTR1's pitting. Kind of figured. Like, we are already a quarter of a lap ahead of the Zonda. And if and when it does come to pit, because it'll probably come to pit soon, we'll be gaining even more time. So the Esperanto is probably going to pit 2 times this race. We will probably only need to pit once. I could pit at the end of lap 10 and spread out the tire wear evenly amongst the 2 stints. I got the time to do that. I probably would do that. Welcome, man, to Girl with a Gun. Iron Dames are leaving ELMS in 2026 due to finish difficulties. If Manthe Racing doesn't cut them out from the race. Oh, jeez. I'm sorry to hear that to them. Do they know what they're going to be racing instead? They're going to be doing more IMSA stuff? GT America? What's the plan then for the Iron Danes? As I know, ELMS was kind of like the main ticket to trying to compete in, you know, the 24 Hours of Le Mans. 24 Hours of Le Mans. That is rough news here, but big rip to them. F's in chat. But no, seriously though, that is unfortunate. I met a lot of the Iron Dames girls at the 6 hours of the Glen last year, and they were super nice. One of them was actually even staying at the hotel we were staying at as well, which is really cool. We were literally like sitting a table away from her during breakfast or whatever, and she was kind of going over like racing notes with I think like either like a coach or like an engineer or what have you. They weren't speaking English, so I didn't quite understand them. But I was like, I kind of like some of like the documents they were looking at and everything, or like, you know, maps of the track and everything. So that's pretty cool. Ooh, oh, please tell me that's not the Zonda. No way, it is the Zonda. That is the Zonda. I hope Manthe keeps them so they can race him. Yeah, for real, that'd be super nice. Ow. Chat, we are dead. Chat, we have, our butt has gone through our brain. Holy cow, look how quick it is to rev as well. Oop. NASCAR safety car moment. Yeah. Just immediately come to a stop as well. Alright, come on, I gotta get back in the power band. I gotta get moving again. This lap and the next is gonna be slow. Right, no grip on cold tires. Alright, passing the Zonda again. We lapped them. We got our tires changed, and we're passing them again. Alright, so now what, 4 laps ahead, I think? Yeah, four or 5 laps ahead. Something like that. I'll have to see after the end of the race how many laps ahead we are of the Zonda, because that is kind of sad. Alright, we're reaching our regular speed now. The crazy high RPM range. $260 at the end of that straight. Alright. Yeah, okay, so we need to start gaining time again on the TSO 20. Depending on its top speed, I might see if bump drafting it might actually increase or speed up a river or lap times. Because that one's been having a very solid run as well. 3.5 second quarter mile. And if we are gonna have a bump draft buddy, since we don't have a Viper, that might be the way to do it. Alright, 106.8. So we still weren't quite up to speed there. But now we are. So now we're gonna be gaining time on them again. Now we're gonna be rapidly approaching their location. Alright, we are gonna be catching one vehicle here for the slipstream. So do they have to compete in ELMS and race at WEC ELMS? So if you compete in WEC regularly, you can enter Le Mans. Then other ACO affiliated series like ELMS and the Asian Le Mans series, top contenders from there also are allowed to compete at the 24 hours of Le Mans. But I believe WEC teams get priority. I'm pretty sure WEC teams get priority. Holy moly. This is fast. This is very, very fast. The speed. Alright, we have gone 80 miles in 20 minutes. So yeah, we're still keeping that 4 mile a minute pace. We're still keeping that 4 mile a minute pace. That's not bad. And since we don't have any more pit stops, we can probably improve upon that pace now as well, between the drafting and everything. So this will be fun. Just out of curiosity, for those of you that have completed Gran Turismo 3, what is your main vehicle? What is your main vehicle to use for the win race? Do you use the crazy Suzuki Escudo? Do you use one of the Formula 1 cars with all the wing trimmed out and the gear ratio extended? Do you use the Viper, a different high-performance sports car that's been tuned? Some JDM legends, the 787B. What do you use? What are your options? You got a lot of options for this race. What do you decide? What is your go-to? My go-to is, well, obviously the Viper. The Viper is terrifyingly quick. There's a speed 12, and that means the TSO 20 isn't that far ahead. Not that much longer. So let's do this. Let's get the suck off of here. Give me your suck. $272. $273. Probably the fastest we've gone so far. Do you honestly just use the Miata Cappuccino just for... Yeah, the Miata. Uh-huh. Uh-huh. Sure. Sure. Uh-huh. Right. I mean, everyone knows the Miata is always the answer, even for top speed runs. And you make a little 1.6 of the engine, who cares? It's fast. Alright, come on. I see the TSO 20. I see the GT1. I'm gonna see if I can't bump draft it. Could you imagine if I bump drafted it fast enough and put enough power behind it that it quite literally just broke the engine? We put it way past where its revs could go. Okay. Oh, it is limited. Boo. Boo. It's limited at 245. Boo. I was hoping that would be the one to carry me to top, like, even higher speeds. We legit, genuinely just need another Viper that's, like, heavily modified. What I need to do is I need to clone myself, go into Sec 2 player mode, both of us choose this Viper, and just, you know, bump draft each other to see just how fast we can get it to go. Because we're running out of road before we're running out of gear. Which is a scary thing to think about. Oh, there's the Zonda again. There's the Zonda. That's what, 6, 7? Six or 7 times, I think. 6 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 or How many times have we lapped the Zonda? That is that's hilarious. All right, come on. More speed, more power. Wait, I wanna try to line up the Oh, I can't quite line up the stripes with my stripe. That is very difficult. We're going too fast for that. We're going too fast for that. Come on. A little bit more speed. Alright, 130.485. That's the new fastest lap. The Esperante is pitting, and I was correct on guessing that they would pit twice. Alright, what car is this up ahead? I want to say it's the Supra. I'm pretty sure it's a Supra. If memory has served me correctly. I'm pretty sure it's a Supra. Alright, come on, big push. Big push. It is the Supra. Okay, I was correct. There we go. A little bit more speed. Maybe shave off a couple tenths. Yeah, our tires are starting to go again. It was just to show how like vehicles like the Bugatti Veyron and everything like that, they need those specialty tires just to prevent them from, you know, falling apart at top speed. And even then they still struggle with it, because at that speed the rotational force on the tire is so great that you're producing an insane amount of heat. Alright, the GT1 race car is pitting. Like, honestly, at this stage, we're probably more so limited by tire technology for sustainable top speed. Any AOC event. Oh, there's the Zonda. But yeah, it comes down to funding and everything. But to actually get at the Le Mans, I have to be a competitor in like one of those series. WC, I believe, gets priority at Le Mans, and then like the best teams from like the Asian Le Mans series and like European Le Mans series and all that stuff are also allowed to enter, but WEC teams get priority because I believe Le Mans is actually considered part of the WEC calendar. I believe it's the only non-grade 1 track on the WEC calendar as well. All the other tracks are FIA grade 1, whereas Le Mans is an FIA grade 2. Nice and smooth. 2 more laps. So 3 more minutes, basically. Although this stage is closer to 2.5 minutes. Come on, let's do this. Let's do this. Just to add a little bit more completion. Get just a little bit closer. come on. You know, the Nürburgring is a very great survival. Yeah, I genuinely think that the GT3 cars are genuinely too quick to race there. The modern cars. I think that is a major accident waiting to happen. I'm praying I'm wrong, but legit in 2023, the overall distance record for the 24 hours of the Nürburgring Nordschleife was set, and by a considerable margin as well, by the Ferrari 296 GT3. So these vehicles are only getting faster. They're only getting more aero dependent, and that is a little bit concerning. That is a little bit concerning, I think. Alright, one more lap. One more lap. Let's do this, chat. Let's do this. Alright, half a corner. Alright, I don't think we'll be catching the Zonda. Yeah, we're not gonna have enough time to catch the Zonda. I don't know, it might be close. No, just barely. Had we not hit the wall there on entry in the pits. Boom. Boom. Wait, we are passing at 160 miles an hour? No way. Alright, take care for GT. Have a great night. We'll probably be ending the stream here too as well. But we'll be getting our money. 10 grand. All that money spent on upgrading and buying the Viper. 10 grand. But we at least get this prize car. We at least get the 787B. Which, you know, is pretty nice. That is pretty nice. I'm gonna get the car wash. I'm gonna get the fuel, not the fuel, the oil change. I'm gonna swap to the Clio Cup car. And then we will save and end the stream. I'm sorry, the Clio Sport race car. We are now almost 85% complete. So we are getting there. We are getting close. We don't have that much further to go. So I'm looking forward to that. But I'm gonna be ending the stream here. We'll be doing more Gran Turismo 3 tomorrow night. Thank you all so much for watching. I do appreciate it. If you enjoyed the stream, please make sure you leave a like, subscribe. Let me know what I'm doing well in the comments down below. If you didn't like the stream, please let me know what I'm doing poorly so I can fix that in the future. With that being said, I've been Umbras, and wherever you are in the world, whatever time that is for you, may it be a great time. And I will see you all in the next stream. Until then, take care, everybody. Bye-bye. Wow. Do you remember the 21st night of September?